welcome to my channel. It's your girl Naj. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you're old to my channel, welcome back and thank you for watching. Today I'm going to be doing a video about college. I haven't did a college video, well, besides like vlogs wise. I haven't did a college video in a hot minute, so I'm really excited to do this video. A couple people asked me in the comments about doing this video, so that's why I really wanted to get it out over this break. Also because I've been seeing a lot of people get their acceptance letters and PV23 already starting to talk about the hashtags, so I really wanted to get this video out for y'all. Today we're going to be talking about how to pay for college. So I know a lot of y'all, if y'all are preparing to come to school, if you're already in school, it really don't even matter. But paying for college is something that everybody needs to know about. Whether you think you know or not, everything is different, and there are so many ways and so many alternatives to pay for school. So today I'm going to be teaching y'all about some of the methods that I use to pay for school and just some other methods that people I know have used, and just methods that I looked up that I think would be beneficial and that I've just seen be beneficial in other people's lives. So I'm just going to give y'all a few tips that I think will help y'all, and without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first tip for paying for college, or how to pay for college, is do your FAFSA. If you don't do your FAFSA, y'all, like, everything else is negated. Nothing else even matters if you don't do your FAFSA. So I would definitely say that's the #1 step. Make sure you apply for your FAFSA. If you can, I would try to do it as early as possible, because the longer you wait, I hate my notifications. But the longer that you wait to do it, and I don't know if this is a myth or not, but I've always just been told that the longer you wait to do your FAFSA, the less money you'll be able to receive. So that's why I would advise for y'all to do it as quickly as you can, because you don't want to be, getting gypped basically, or just not taking advantage of the amount of money that you could actually get from financial aid. My next tip would be apply for scholarships inside and outside of your school. So I wanted to put emphasis on inside and outside, because I know a lot of people once they get into their school of choice, they only focus on the scholarships that are within the school, like on the website. At PV especially, that's definitely not the way to go, because the scholarships that they give out here are already few and far between, unless your grades are really good. But even then, like, I remember my freshman year when my GPA was the highest that it's ever been, and I applied for like all the scholarships, because it's really a brief application process. You just fill out the general scholarship one, and then it basically filters the ones that you will qualify for. And I did that, and I believe I had like a 3.62 or something like that around my freshman year, and I didn't get any of the scholarships that I applied for. So the reason I'm saying that is because I think that there are so many scholarships outside of not just PV, but just on the internet. If you look up, there's so many organizations that have their own scholarships that they give back every year. I get a $500 scholarship from Big Brothers Big Sisters, which is a nonprofit organization that I'm a part of, that's in Austin. And actually I think it might be nationwide now, but I know I started it in Austin before I got to school. But I use that as an example, because there are so many organizations like that that are just giving out money if you actually apply for them. So my best advice for that would be to just, because I know a lot of people's main thing about like not applying for scholarships is the fact that they are too long, or they just don't want to have to write the essay all over again. So I would say to write like a sample essay that you can use for pretty much any scholarship that you apply for, and then once you're applying for them, take a day to where you're going to just apply for all your scholarships and get all of your funding stuff situated. And I would just tailor the essay to whatever scholarship I'm doing, so that you won't have to keep writing the essay every time. You should just already have one on hand, so you can already just have that locked and loaded when you're ready to go. Okay. My next tip would be take advantage of dual credit or concurrent enrollment courses if your school carries those. And I wanted to put emphasis on if, because I know a lot of schools probably don't have that now. Like, I know when I did it, even though that was like, I feel like that was so long ago now, but I started it my freshman year of high school. And I believe now it's more common at different schools, but back then my school was one of the only schools in Austin that had the program. And basically what dual enrollment or concurrent courses are basically college credit classes that you can take for free or for a lower price. I don't know how it works at other schools. I just know at my school it was completely 100% free. I didn't have to pay for any of it, and I basically walked out of high school with 36 credits that were able to transfer over to Prairie View. So the reason I put that on the list is because, I mean, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but y'all, if you do free classes while you're in high school, it's going to take off a big chunk of the money that you're gonna have to spend here because your time is going to be shortened. So I would highly recommend that. I know a lot of people are fearful of doing it. A lot of my friends are just like, nah, that look like it's too much. But honestly, it's not that hard. It is a little challenging, I will say. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, but if anything, I feel like it prepared me for college. Like, I feel like I was never as stressed as I've been in high school doing it because I already was prepared. Like, it kind of just prepared me for the type of courses that I was going to be taking when I got to this level. So I would definitely advise anyone that has the opportunity to take advantage of that because it can definitely take off a big chunk of your tuition. So get on that. Oh, and another thing about dual credit courses, just keep in mind that when you're taking them, the only classes that will transfer over is the classes that you pass. And you know, it doesn't have to be anything crazy like that, but you have to be making at least a C for the credits to transfer over. So just keep that in mind because I know some people think that all of the classes that they take will transfer over, but if you make a D, D's don't count in college. These really don't count anywhere, but they definitely don't count in college, so it won't be able to transfer over. So just keep that in mind. My next tip would be transfer from a community college. So I would say this is all up to your personal discretion. Now, I obviously did not go that route. I went to university because that was what I wanted to do personally. That was what my goals were at the time. But if you feel like going to a community college would be a better environment or just a better experience for you, or if you even feel like it would just be a better way to save money, you're not even worried about the social aspect or anything like that, then I would definitely say to start off at a community college, get your associates, and then transfer over. Because as everybody knows, community colleges are not as expensive as universities, so it also is a cheaper alternative versus going the traditional route and going off for years. And I mean, I really can't speak on it because I didn't do that way, and I personally, you know, I value like the experience and the friendships that I had at PV, so I personally wouldn't go that route. But I know there's a lot of people who don't really care about that and they just trying to get in and get out or handle their business. So if you're that type of person, I would definitely look into doing community college first and then transferring over. On the bright side, you're still gonna have an experience either way. It's just gonna be shorter. So I would definitely look into that as well. Apply for work study or student hourly jobs. So on your FAFSA, there's going to be a segment, so make sure y'all paying attention when y'all doing it, because I know some people have their parents helping them or their parents just doing their FAFSA, but you really are going to have to start learning these things because I feel like it kind of prepares you for being on your own. Like when you start having to file taxes and stuff, there's going to be certain things that you're not going to be able to ask your parents. So it would be best to start, you know, memorizing and learning things about it now. So like I said, there's a segment on there that asks if you would like to apply, and basically how it works is you will either get approved for work study or student hourly. I never got approved for either, but it really just depends on your financial aid packet. But I definitely would at least apply for it and see if you will get it, or see if you qualify, because you never know, like you might qualify and then that's the way for you to make money to be able to stay afloat while you're in school basically. But yeah, basically make sure you apply for student hourly or work study and see what you get. There's so many jobs on campus. Like you can work in the library, you can work in the MSC, you can work in one of the buildings on the campus. There's a lot of different job opportunities on your campus, and I know that's not just a PV specific thing. I feel like pretty much all universities should offer work study and student hourly, because that's basically part of financial aid. You know, it's made for students to be able to work and get money while they're still at school. And I also would advise that versus trying to get a job outside of your campus, especially if you're an underclassman, because I mean, you know yourself best, so you know if that's something that you can handle. But I will say, especially as an underclassman, until you get into the groove of things, it will be kind of hard to navigate with working, especially if you're working during the week and you work like in Cyprus and you have to, you know, drive there every day after school at a certain time. It may interfere with your studies and stuff. So that's why I would highly recommend trying to apply for a student hourly or work study job, because, you know, a lot of the times they're not that tedious, like they're not really hard jobs, so you can like multitask at your job. For example, my friend is a tutor at the tutoring center. When they don't have people coming in to get tutored, she's able to still work on her assignments and do her homework throughout the day. So she's kind of killing two birds with one stone. So if you have that opportunity, or if you're able to qualify for a job, I definitely would do that, because that's probably the easiest job you're gonna find at school. Get a part-time job. So this is basically the opposite. If you don't qualify for work study or student hourly like me, you're probably obviously gonna have to find a job that's outside of the school. But there are a lot of jobs around campus. You know, you gotta really search for them, I'm not gonna lie. But especially in Cyprus, I would say that's where the most jobs for students that weren't able to work like on campus, that's where I tend to see the most people work, and that's where I personally have worked. I've had about 2 jobs in the Cyprus area since I've went to PV, and like I said, it's not that bad, but I feel like it's also not something to jump into when you're a freshman or a sophomore, or at least until you get the swing of things, because I didn't work my freshman year at all. Like my parents didn't want me to work, so I just didn't work. But I know everybody doesn't have the same situation, so you might have to work your freshman year, but you will know yourself and know if you can handle that workload. But it's all up to your discretion. Just make sure you're able to find a good balance between the two if you do decide to work. You don't want to fall off on your studies just trying to chase a bag. Like, remember, your mental health and your mental state of mind is always more important than that job, y'all. Don't go crazy trying to just, you know, some people need jobs and some people just have jobs for the things that they want, and there's nothing wrong with that either, because that's basically why I had a job. You know, I didn't necessarily have to get one, but I wanted to get one because I knew that there was things that I was gonna want. But I also realized that like now my workload, I'm taking 21 hours, so I'm not gonna be able to go to work during the week or do how I used to do. It's just not gonna work. So know yourself and know what you can handle, and that part should work out. Stay off campus after your freshman year if you can. Now, I can speak on this tip personally because, like I said, I pay out of pocket for college. So freshman year, I was staying in the dorms, and the dorms, I definitely feel like every freshman should get the experience of staying in the UC. So if you're thinking about, you know, staying in the View or staying in the phases or wherever they're trying to put the freshmen this year, I definitely would advise staying in UC, just because I feel like it's such an experience that every freshman should be able to experience. Anyways, after that, y'all will soon see that living on campus is very expensive. Everything, unless you just already have a lot of financial aid, which a lot of people don't have that much financial aid, you're gonna be paying at least $700, really $700 to $800 to stay anywhere on campus. And not to mention, a lot of the places on campus, besides the newer places like the View and the Square, but the phases, and even Panther Hill is right across the street from me. That's a new establishment too, and I also wouldn't live there because it's just, yeah. But if you can, I would definitely advise to stay off campus, because before I stayed off campus, I didn't get a refund, and I also was paying out of pocket, so I basically was broke. But once I moved off campus, and I actually stay in Brookside Meadows, which is like right down the street from the school, right across the street from Panther Hill. After staying here, I actually got my first refund, so it actually took that much out of my financial aid that I was able to get money back. So I would advise that, because it's basically self-explanatory. Like, you will get so much more, you will save so much more money actually by staying off campus. And I know a lot of people are weary because there's a lot of things said about the places that you can stay off campus, but where I stay personally, I have no issue. I have just enough freedom for me, just enough privacy. I haven't really had any issues over here, so I don't see anything wrong with it. So if y'all have any questions about like staying over here or just where to stay on campus in general, I can definitely answer those for y'all. But just do your own research and don't be afraid to branch out to the off-campus living situations, because you'll be able to save so much money in the long run by doing so. Apply for loans or a Parent Plus loan. Now, a Parent Plus loan, that might be specific to your school, but basically what it is your parents signing up to basically pay for one of your loans instead of putting them both under your name. And you know, everyone's parent might not be up for that, but if your parent is, it actually is, I think, a good way to just help out your student that's going to school if you would like to, because we don't really know about loans and credit and stuff, even though, like I said earlier, you should be learning throughout college. But if your parent is willing to help you and not have you basically avoid having to put that under your name, then I would definitely take advantage of that, because that's also a way to, you know, save money. I don't remember what part it cut me off at, but the Parent Plus loan, I basically would advise everybody to try to apply for that if their parents are willing, because it's basically just an alternative if they want to help you with paying for your schooling, because all the other loans are going to be under your name. If you're interested in that, I would definitely look into it, because that's another way to save money. And my last tip will basically just be save. Any little money that you have, save it. Once you get to college, you're going to see what matters. Every school is different, but I know at Prairie View there are certain time frames that a lot of money is going to be needed and going to be spent. So you don't want to blow all your money in the fall, and then when Spring Fest come around and all this stuff is going on, you don't have the money for, you know, your social life, or you don't want to spend all your money on partying, and then when it's time to go to the grocery store, you ain't got no food to eat. You just want to spend your money wisely, save when you need to, spend when you need to, so that whenever you need money, you'll have. So yeah, just save y'all, because you want to make sure you have money for not only the things that you need to do, well, for not only the things that you want to do, but also the stuff that you need to do. So yeah, that would be my last and most important tip for how to pay for college. You know, all the little money that you get, like your refund, I will use that wisely so the other money that you get you can have. For example, whenever I get my refund, I pay